looks like we're going. My name's Dylan, obviously, and this is the Tarot Read Show, where I do tarot readings. Yeah, I could just introduce myself if anybody decides to watch this from the jump. I've been tarot reading basically since the pandemic. I got my first deck way back way back in probably 2020, so 2004, 2005. I must have been a teenager. I just went to Barnes and Noble with my mom, made a beeline for like the kind of, it was called New Age section back then, but the paranormal stuff. And that day, I was getting for some reason, my mom was buying me something, and I chose tarot cards that day. And I didn't really use them much back then, honestly, even though I was way into paranormal stuff. But later on in my life, during the pandemic, I thought, why not try getting into something like that again to connect with people. Did a lot of readings at the time. It went well. And then I decided to come back full force. And that's where we are now. And big news this week is I got a new tarot deck. Anybody who's maybe watched any of my other streams, which at this point is nobody. I mean, people have watched because I'm doing tarot readings for people who come and watch videos, but I don't think anybody's watched them all the way through or gone to another video after watching one, which is fine. Totally understand. I'm just happy to have the people who I'm doing readings for showing up, so that's all that matters to me. Anyway, like I said, new cards, and I have the Pulp Tarot deck, which is the one that I mostly use, have been using, but now I'm using what is it called? Pause Tarot, too, especially this week. That's going to be my main deck, and it's a deck that makes me smile, and that's why I got it. I like a deck that kind of resonates with me on a humor standpoint, and just this one is pretty goofy, pretty upbeat. I mean, we'll see as I use it tonight. It is and I even like the back of the card, how there's like little rat kings on the back. Not the kind of rat king that you think of when you hear that word, but those are certainly rats who are kings, so it fits. The other deck I have is the Pulp Tarot deck, and that one is pretty cool too. I got it on Amazon, both of these on Amazon, and that one's more like kind of book covers almost sort of things. Just those are the two decks I'll be using. I mean, today I am pretty much exclusively going to be using this one to get more familiar with it. That's what I will be doing today. All right. And if anybody were to wander by and be watching this, they can feel free to ask questions. But I just pulled questions off of in the chat. I just pulled questions off of Reddit, where there is a tarot practice subreddit. It's very welcoming, and I'm actually getting kind of good reviews on there. I've got 5 people who reviewed me, and all positive reviews so far. So good. Nothing else to add, really. I guess I'll just get to it. I think I pulled 9 readings to do. I always plan on doing 8 to 10, I guess. And I might start doing my own. I never do readings for myself, really. I might just start pulling a card for like a random day in the following week. I'm curious what my readings are for myself, because I've done a few. I do readings for myself kind of sparsely, just for my own reasons. I don't necessarily like to know my future. I know it's something that people say, but I do like to. I'm trying to live in the moment, so that means not ruminating on my past or having anxiety about my future. That's why I don't typically do readings for myself, but I think it'd be cool to do it in a fun, sort of journalistic way. And this is like a diary kind of. This whole endeavor is partly my way of keeping track of my readings. I'm going to start making a spreadsheet of how often I pull cards. Just when I pull a card, put a notch on there because I am genuinely curious. I feel like some cards come up a lot, like the Six of Wands especially has been coming up a lot, which is cool. It means victory, and I feel like when a card starts coming up a lot, it doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily apply to the reading you're doing, but I think it is also, trying to speak to you personally, so I always try and, take note of that. Anyway, yeah, I believe for most of the readings, the questions I got this week were all pretty straightforward. There shouldn't be any. I sometimes get more complicated questions. There are one or two I might have to. I'm trying to do more clarifying cards nowadays, which it just means after you draw the main card for the reading, draw one more to just add some flavor to it. But yeah, I mostly do one card readings at the moment. 3 card readings, maybe more in the future, just as I get more used to the traditional meanings of the cards again. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's the first question. Just move it over here since got the video on the other side. Speaking into my bottle there, very professional. Alright, hello. Hi, I'm CD. Wondering what you see coming for my love life. My favorite upbeat song is Better Than Today by Kylie Minogue. I know who Kylie Minogue is. I don't know that song off the top of my head, but I probably heard it. Hey, I'll say good choice. And wonder what's coming up for your love life. Alright, cool. Yeah. And just for every reading I'm going to do this, the deck I'm using is, you're probably used to traditional decks. This one is a bit more fun. It's called the Pause Tarot, and it is a lot of, this is a card I keep seeing a lot. It's a lot of, just cat tarot. It's a fun deck, and I made sure to say in my post that while I am earnest about my readings, I try to have a bit of fun too. So yeah, just so you know that. But yeah, fairly straightforward question, and I appreciate that. What do I see coming for your love life, CD? And I pretty much always do 1 card readings, but I might draw another card for flavor, clarification, but we will see. This is the way I shuffle the cards, and it doesn't matter how I shuffle the cards because I end up just running my finger along the side to draw them. But yeah, just helps me get in the zone. The not auto zone. Well, I'm being very clumsy today with the shuffling though, which isn't normal. Probably because these cards are slightly different size than I'm used to, actually. I bet. Alright. Okay. This card, typically known as the Thief, and in regards to a love life reading, I'm not gonna say necessarily a, traditional somebody who's gonna steal from you. Maybe an emotional thief, unfortunately. I don't know if you're currently with somebody or if you're, what's coming for your love life was the question. Yeah, you might have an emotional thief on the horizon. Just look out for that. Swords are more of a mental suit, though, and I could have drawn a cups card that might have been more emotional. So maybe somebody who's going to be a drain on your brain even. So just watch out for that. If you get into a relationship coming up or you see one coming up or you're starting one now and you feel like that person is maybe getting on your nerves a bit, just yeah, keep your hackles up. That might mean that they are just going to kind of be a drain on you in general, and yeah, that is something to for sure watch out for. And I mean, this is obviously a thief, and but that is the more traditional tarot meaning. I'm more of a I'm trying to incorporate the traditional tarot meanings into my the traditional card meanings into my readings, but I am more of a just visual reader, and most of the time the visual lines up with the traditional reading. But here, let me see what this card traditionally means in relationships specifically. Sorry. Yeah. Or in relationships, a selfish partner who takes too much emotionally or at worst defrauds you. So it looks like I was pretty spot on, which makes me happy. But yeah, just be on the lookout for sure. Because by my reading and by their traditional readings, I would say this card just means for sure watch out for yourself. Yeah. All right. Good first reading, and I'm sure you're gonna watch this. I much appreciate it. All right. If you were to keep watching, that'd be cool too. But definitely don't expect that. All right. Next question. All right. Hello, my favorite song of the moment is Dr. Finlay. I'm single. What can I expect in love for the remainder of 2025? All right. Fair enough. 2 love questions in a row. That is not a bad thing. Y'all want love out there. I don't know the song, Dr. Finlay. That's why I didn't comment on it. But I'm asking for this stuff because I'm going to go look all these up. I got like a tarot pump-up list that I listen to before I don't listen to every song on it, but that I listen to before I do readings, and I might add some of these to it. And it's all upbeat songs, is why I ask, or like epic sounding songs. Anyway, the deck I'm using today is the Pause Tarot. It is kind of a cutesy deck. Don't worry about me drawing the devil. If I do actually draw the devil, then maybe worry, but that was just me showing you how the cutesy deck is. And yeah, just to reiterate what I said in my post, I am more of a visual reader, but I try and incorporate the traditional meanings of the cards into my tarot readings a bit more now. And yeah, that's I think all you really need to know. I have a book here that has the traditional meanings too, and I might reference that if I need to. But mostly it's about what I see in the card at the moment. Okay. What can I expect in love for the remainder of 2025? And I am just going to do one card to just kind of give you a general outlook of the rest of the year. I might do one more card after that if I feel I need clarification, but I do just mostly do one card draws at the moment. This is all me trying to practice a bit and just shake the rust off, if you will, because I mostly did this during pandemic. I've been doing it for a month and a half now or so, but still get to shake the rust off. It was a phrase I just learned or just heard recently. All right. And the aces are, let me pull up the picture for you. The aces are usually pretty good signs. I don't know the traditional meaning of this one off of the top of my head, but cups are also the emotion suit. Yeah, suits, I guess, the right term. Yeah, and this cup's overflowing. You're asking about a love reading. I want to get the traditional meaning of this card just because the ace cards are all just a hand coming out of a cloud, basically. They aren't a lot visually to go off of, but this is a good sign, I would say. I'm not getting for sure, oh, you're going to meet somebody, but you are going to have emotional fulfillment, which probably means that you'll meet somebody. But it, especially because this could have no other beings in it, but it does have a bird flying in, even carrying something that kind of looks like one of the pentacles. Could mean somebody coming in, and offering things in a material way that are nice too. But yeah, I see this as an emotional cup runnething over. So whether that means it's happening while you're single or while you're in a relationship, we're about halfway through the year now. I think the second half of your year, probably pretty good. Let's see what the cups are, just the Ace of Cups specifically. Does specifically mean love, fertility, and beginnings. So my reading personally was not even quite as I guess optimistic as that. I thought it was pretty optimistic, but that's even better. I more go off of my visuals, so listen to the front half of that reading a bit more than that traditional meaning, but yeah, just expect good things in that regard. Let's leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Yeah, and if you want to stick around and watch other readings on this, that'd be great. But if not, I appreciate you checking me out. All right. Shake it out, shake it out. Hi, I'm DMing for possible video reading. My favorite upbeat song right now is What a Time to Be Alive by Fall Out Boy. I'm NE. My question is, did I make a mistake by leaving my 6-year relationship with BD? Or did I make the right choice? Thank you so much. I seriously appreciate it. Alright, always a fair question. Everybody wants to know if they did the right thing when they end something like that. Completely fair. I hope that the cards say something reassuring. I really do. I really don't try to sugarcoat the cards. I said in my post that I know you read because you gave me your favorite upbeat song, which I will definitely check out because I don't really know any title of any Fall Out Boy songs off the top of my head, but I know I've liked them in the past when I've heard them, so I will be looking it up on Spotify. Thank you. But yeah, I do try and be upbeat, but also I do very much read the cards as is. So did you make a mistake? You are obviously wondering that for reasons, maybe even things going on in your life that are making you question it now, 6 years later. If it's maybe something you've been ruminating on, I would say maybe look into that. If it's something that's come up over the past 6 years and isn't something that specifically, happened now to make you think of it, maybe look into that. But I ain't no therapist, so I will just have the cards answer the question. And I am using what's called the Pause Tarot, which is, like I said, I'm upbeat. It is a sort of goofy deck, very cat-oriented and just fun. So just so you're aware, this could end up being a serious reading depending on the answer. But if the card is goofy, just bear with me. All right. I keep dropping cards. It's just amateur hour, but this is a brand new deck, so they're just slightly different size than the cards I'm used to. Get used to it. I know, and this barely seems like shuffling. I'm going to pick the card by running my fingers along the side. This is just kind of a meditative thing. Uh, this is a card that's been coming up a lot for me recently, which sometimes I wonder if that means the deck is trying to speak to me personally too. But I feel like you have to know that this is a pretty good card to get. Beginnings, sunrise, new beginnings, and as far as people in your life, typically this would be a question like I would say this meant that you just met a person who changed your life in a great way, but you were asking if you did the right thing by leaving him. This means yes, that kind of made you a new person. And I can't speak to. I look at this. It's a unicorn, obviously, but from my distance, I almost saw it as like a donkey, and I almost saw you as kind of like ridding yourself of a donkey almost. And since I am more of a visual reader, I do believe, maybe there is something to that. This donkey that you had with you, and this walking red flag, maybe, considering there's a red banner right there next to him. Just stop worrying about this. I do think you made the right decision, and it is, isn't it nice when the cards just, say kind of the nicest thing they could. Thank you for stopping by. Obviously, if you like the reading, don't hesitate to subscribe, because I don't have a lot of people watching or doing much on my pages, so it'd be very easy for you to ask me questions again in the future. Obviously, I'll keep posting on Reddit, but thank you for watching. I have never heard of August Alsina, but I'll be sure to check him out. They're my current favorite artist, and his song Downtown is rocking. Alright, I'll add it to my Spotify. My question is about the future. I need to break free fast. What should I do? Okay. A little more vague than I'm used to, but that's not a bad thing, because I kind of want to get used to answering questions like this. Thank you for the question. I probably will just I might do a 2-card reading, but I do mostly just do 1-card readings at the moment, since I'm reacquainting myself with tarot after taking a break from getting real into it during the pandemic. But just so you know, I'm more of a visual reader. I mentioned in my post, I do have a little book here that I'm learning from, more of the traditional meanings for the cards, but just I go off more of the visuals at the moment. But I also want you to know, like I said in my post, I'm pretty upbeat. Don't take things too seriously. The deck that I have is called the Pause Tarot, and it is just a very fun deck, cat-based deck. I'm a cat guy. You can even almost see my cat right there, and obviously my little poster up there that I specifically moved from another spot in my house to be in frame for this. But I am very earnest about my readings, just so you know. I do take this very seriously. Feel free to watch some of the other readings too to see. But all right. My question is about the future. I need to break free fast. What should I do? All right. So we want a card that's very explosive and very much like saying, what should I pursue? What should you pursue is like maybe what I'll phrase it as, and probably 1 card, but maybe a clarifying card too. So how I pick the cards is I, just run my finger along the side of the deck until I don't know how to explain it, until I feel something in my head. And for once, it was the top card. That's bound to happen sometimes. And the top card was Strength. So what do you need to do to move forward? I mean, the strength card is very on its face and in your face. You need to. I mean, in all versions of this card, there is a lion and someone taming it. Uh, I think you have whatever you have the something inside you that you know about that you could pursue. That if you really invested in it in yourself, maybe it's a creative endeavor. Just an example, drawing. Me, I chose doing tarot readings. Maybe it's basketball. This, I mean, this card in particular does have a very particular definition to it that I will also tell you the traditional meaning for this card too. But again, as a vibes and image reader, this card for me does echo a person who needs to really pursue the thing that they feel strongest about inside themselves. The thing that you feel like you want to pursue. I mean, I didn't get into this to make money. I got into this because I like the idea of doing tarot readings and maybe them being right. And the cards, it feels like they say the right things a lot, and I get a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment out of that kind of thing. And this card, I feel like, resonates with me in the way of that's how I came to start pursuing this. Is I found a thing inside me that felt right, and then I tamed it and nurtured it. And that's what the kitty cat there did with the big old lion. And what you need to do with whatever it is in you that you can tame to reach that success. And that might even be really digging into your job. Maybe you're a career-minded person like my brother who builds fences now. And started his own fence company and is actually doing very, very well. Maybe it's something like that. But you know the thing that you want to be pursuing, and it is really time. Even you might be in the middle of doing it already, and maybe that's where the taming of the lion comes in. Maybe it's not quite tamed yet, but yeah. I guess I hope that resonates with you. If not, this is something where definitely leave a comment or let me know in a direct message on Reddit. Reply to that again, and let me know if that doesn't resonate with you. I do. I hope it does, and I hope hope things go well. All right, and I am definitely going to check out August Alsina. I like a rockin' song. All right. Cool. Going all right today and just past the halfway mark. Looks like I'm gonna move this guy. Cover my eyes. Yes. Hello, friend. Wanted to know if my ex is in a new relationship. If so, is she happy or still thinking about me and what we had? We still talk, but I feel like she's holding back. I know her well and she seems sad when we talk, but I haven't asked her directly. My name is G and her name is M. Thank you. Jesse Reyes? Break Me Down? I'm guessing that's the song, and thank you for that. Definitely I need more stuff to add to my tarot pump up playlist that I listen to before I do readings. So awesome. Just so you know, as a person who likely hasn't watched the other readings I've done before this, well, you see there, I'm a cat guy. So my tarot deck is cat based, and it is just kind of a goofy deck. I really love it. But yeah, just so you're aware, like I said in my posts on Reddit, I am a pretty upbeat guy and I like to keep things lighthearted. So this is part of my way of doing that. And this is the kind of question that could get a little heavy depending on the kind of answer you're looking for and just what the cards say. I will, just be honest about what the cards say, because even though I try and be upbeat, I am also doing this earnestly, and the cards aren't always kind. But with me, for some reason, the cards are kind a lot of the time. And I think that's maybe because the cards present themselves to me in a way that makes it easy for me to even give bad news kind of optimistically, which is nice. I appreciate the cards doing that. All right, anyway, pull up your question again, because I always need to see it and think about it as I'm going. And the other thing that I like to reiterate is I am more of a visual reader at the moment, but I do have the traditional tarot card meanings in front of me, so I might consult that, but I am mostly just a visual and vibes reader at the moment. So yeah, just a heads up. So we'll start with is she? Let's do. Because those are two separate questions, and then I probably won't draw clarifying cards after that, but is she happy, and is she still thinking about you? Because she could be both. She could be neither. She could be one or the other. And we will, 78 cards in the deck. There's a lot of love cards and a lot of relationship, emotional cards. They can probably pinpoint some pretty specific emotions that she might be going through. So let's see what two cards have to say on the matter. Let me rearrange something here. There we go. All right. The shadows on my whiteboard there are kind of outlining the different places I can set the cards. It's kind of cool. Anyway, shuffling right now. And to draw my cards, I always just run my fingers along the side, and it just feels right when I get to the right ones. I'll do that twice. All right. These cards are a little new, so they're kind of hard to grab sometimes. So this is the is she happy card, and it does seem like she is, but we'll go into that in a moment. And then she's still thinking about you card. So, I do want to say, typically, I feel like when people ask for love readings about exes, it does mean that they're personally hoping for some kind of reconciliation or something. And, I would always like to be optimistic, but what I am kind of getting from these cards, just put them in the light, and one card is in the light and one card is a little in the dark. The first card, is she happy? I think on the whole, she is. It shows a couple at dinner, and as a vibes reader, a lot of things can happen at dinner. It maybe seems like she's sad to you now. On the whole, I get the feeling that, things are progressing however she wants as far as her relationships go. And then Ten of Pentacles and Cups are more emotional, so that definitely makes sense. Ten of Pentacles, the Pentacles are more of like a materialistic and just money card, but for a relationship kind of emotional reading, I don't really feel like that comes into play in this reading. I would say that this guy in the chair might be representing you, and she's kind of off doing things, and I mean, I believe in the traditional reading of this card, that's a father whose kid is off to go get married, probably. But I do think maybe you're thinking about things that she's not, which it can be a bummer to hear. But if she seems sad, it doesn't hurt to be a friend, but you might be reading too much into things like that because you want there to be, because you're wanting her to be coming to you in a way that's kind of signals that maybe things could be coming back together. Just, I do think things are all right on her end. Maybe, doesn't mean things can't happen in the future, but right now I do think that she's doing pretty all right. And I will just leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Very much appreciate it. And feel free to come back for readings again in the future. And very much appreciate it. All right. I think we got 4 left because I'm on 6 now, which means 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Where's my water? There we go. Alright, looks like today is kind of an oops, all love readings sort of day, but that's alright. Pink Parentheses in my mind is a great upbeat song. Perfect, I will be looking it up. Alright, is my ex thinking about reaching out? If so, what's stopping her from doing so? Alright, probably do a 1-card reading. I do think that typically people are hoping that their exes are wanting to reach out when they ask questions like this, and are maybe looking for signs that could not, they might not be there, but I'm going to be optimistic for you, and it sounds like you want her to be reaching out, so let's see, and hopefully the answer will just be yes. And if it's, I'm looking for a card that'll give us a 1-card reading, 1-card easy answer, but I will if I feel I need to. If so, what's stopping her from doing so? We'll see. But we'll just see if 1 card can maybe give us the answer we're looking for. And just so you're aware, I am using the Pause Tarot, which is just a kind of cartoony, fun, it's hard to bend my wrist, deck with cats that I'm very much enjoying. But I am kind of a upbeat guy, and I like I'm taking this seriously. I do take my readings. I'm very earnest about them, but I also like to have fun. All right. Is your ex thinking about reaching out? If so, what's stopping her from doing so? All right, well, it is funny that you asked a question of if somebody is thinking about you, and the swords are a mental, kind of a thinking card, but we got somebody who's asleep. And Like, we got pictures in the window of a relationship that's happening, or maybe that was happening in the past, is for some reason, the vibe I'm getting. Maybe just the nature of the question is giving me that vibe. But, what I get from this is, somebody's, maybe got some feelings that, maybe the other person isn't necessarily thinking about so much. The other person, like this cat, I feel might have put this behind them. Maybe that relationship is there just because they're all right with remembering it, but they're not really stressing about it or thinking about it too much. So the vibe I'm getting is that she's not really stressing about it too much, not really thinking about it too much. And it might just be because, she's comfortable. And that could be the very simple reason why she's not reaching out right now, because it doesn't always pay off to go digging into your past when you are comfortable. I am more of a visual reader and vibes reader, so I do mostly go off of what the pictures are and what I get from just what little I can go off of. But I do like to assess the traditional tarot readings too. The traditional meaning of the Four of Swords is rest. So it does line up. That is just the one word traditional meaning. I have a book here, but it's got better, more in-depth meanings. But rest is just the baseline for it. And I get the sense that there's somebody who is at rest where you're maybe not. They're at rest with a relationship that's happened in the past. So maybe not the answer you were looking for, but at least pretty straightforward. So there's that. Thank you for watching, and I very much appreciate the question. Oh, there's always a couple of longies. Oh, don't move my video. There we go. I gotta get a bigger water bottle because I just gotta take sips of this guy. Alright. Hey, I saw your post looking for candidates for a free video reading. I am interested. My favorite upbeat song in the moment is MG by Arden Jones. I do not know them or the song, but that is exactly why I asked. Thank you very much. I'll add it to the list. My question is, how can I best support my daughter Elle with her current struggles with her mental health? What does she need from me, and what do I need to know and do for her? Alright, for context, she's 13 and currently having a mental health crisis. Okay. The extra info is perfectly fine. It's more about what you felt comfortable sharing with me, because I did make sure to say multiple times in my posts that this was going to be public, so I do hope that that's all right with you. That is why I blocked that name, though. Okay. Thankfully, I'm having a lot of luck today with one-card drawings. There's 78 cards in a deck, and, that can run the gamut of emotions, and this is a very big question. I have to admit, I'm not used to doing big questions like this, but I very much want to do more of them in the future, so I will take them on as they come, and I appreciate you asking me. You obviously had no idea who I was when you asked this, but still, I very much appreciate it. Alright, let's see if we can get a one-card draw and see what they say. Just so you are aware, this is a heavy question, but I am using my, it's called the Pause Tarot, and it is just a cat-based tarot deck that is a lot of fun. I did make sure to mention in my posts that I am kind of an upbeat guy, so yeah, these cards just very much go with that vibe. So let us see what the cards have to say. I gotta get them all the right direction there because I flipped them all around. Alright. How can I best support my daughter Elle with her current struggles? It's a very, very good question. Always an interesting card, and it can definitely be a bit jarring to see in a question like this, but just don't take it badly. The death card uh, does always just mean renewal and new beginnings kind of stuff. And let me just verify with your questions. Um, she's we have help from crisis teams, but are waiting for therapy. Maybe therapy will be the thing that finally does lead her to that sort of renewal that you're looking for. Yeah, because just again, this isn't like the movies where this card means something ominous and bad. It's just it literally just means like something's coming up that is going to change the situation drastically, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the therapy that you're talking about. But because your question was, what can you do to help her? I believe if you see some sort of big change coming, even in like her personality, something that where it's like, whoa, she's never been into that before. Maybe pounce on it, or like, oh, she's wow, that's a big difference when she watched this movie. I don't know. What I see for this coming down the pipeline is like, yeah, just watch out for the thing that will be that big change and embrace it, because it might be something that you don't even really expect. And just because this is a bigger question, let me try and draw a clarifying card for this, for what that kind of big change might be, because why not? This is a bigger question and it does deserve it. So what kind of change are we looking at on the horizon that you should embrace? Two major arcana cards, which is interesting. Uh, yeah, and the Emperor is definitely a bold card. Um, Kind of an odd one for the clarifying, but this is where, let me pull up my book of what the traditional tarot meanings are, because the major arcana are very set in stone. Um, Order, power, and boundaries are what the Emperor typically means. I think that maybe this therapy actually is exactly what you're looking for, and is what you need to be able to embrace when you can get to it, and make sure that you very much set it in stone. And even if you have to kind of push her a bit, I do think that you're going to see this change, hopefully pretty dramatically, because that is what the death card means, is a very dramatic change. Yeah, all right. Hope that maybe gives you some clarification. Major arcana cards are definitely like getting two of them in a reading like this is actually seems to happen a lot, weirdly, with the more bigger questions, actually, kind of funnily. But yeah, just getting those boundaries in place might be exactly what you guys are needing. I don't know if she's gone to therapy before, and maybe it is just where, if she hasn't, maybe this time is just where you really buckle down and where it'll really make that difference. I do hope that for you. Yeah. Sorry if I kind of started stumbling there a bit when I was giving my reading. It is obviously a very important question, and it is one that I feel the weight of, even as somebody with no children myself. So just, I'm happy that you guys are seeking help, and I do hope that I could give you maybe some peace of mind. Thank you very much for watching. All right. very short one. All right. Without You by Lana Del Rey. I wouldn't be surprised if I've heard it because I know she's on the radio a lot, but can't say I know the song. That's exactly why I asked for these songs, so I can add it to my Spotify. Alright. Jay, is there a future together for me and Den? Alright. I am using a very silly deck of tarot cards called the Pause Tarot. I mentioned in my posts I'm kind of a sort of an upbeat guy. And yeah, these help me keep it lighthearted. And but I also am very earnest about my readings, so I will just be honest about what the cards say. Hopefully, again, they say nice stuff. All right. Is there a future together for me and N? All right. This deck is kind of new for me, so it's a card I have not gotten before, so it's always nice to see a new one. A little bit of a derpy catboy there, the Nine of Wands. Is there a future? Maybe if you put in some work on yourself and just maybe also outwardly, kind of. The Wands are a spiritual deck, and this is obviously a cat who's I will let you know the traditional meaning of this card in a minute, but I've always been more of a going off the visuals and stuff reader, but I'm trying to incorporate traditional readings more. And just for this card, I get a pretty quick and easy feel of somebody who benefits from working on themselves. And I will say it's a little odd that he seems to be using a broom next to a mop bucket. That makes me... It gives me maybe a sense that the person who's doing the cleaning up of themselves is doing it clumsily, maybe. Maybe that's where you need to improve, is really focus in on how you're improving yourself. Because maybe you're doing it in a way that feels right, because he's got a broom, feels like he's cleaning, but really just going to be spreading water around. And you don't want to just be spraying water around on the insides. So... before letting you know the traditional meaning of this card, I think it just means be sure of the ways that you're trying to work on yourself, and I think that is how you will get to a future with this person. I just had to make sure what your question exactly was. I think there could be a future, but it means doing the work, which maybe feels vague. But as long as you're trying to improve yourself and you're keeping in contact with this person, then I think that there is definitely a good shot. The traditional meaning of the card, though. Don't want to leave you hanging there. Strength is the traditional meaning. I'm just talking the one-word meaning. This is a pretty useful book if you're into Tarot Companion. The traditional one-word meaning... it's just strength, which kind of adds up with what I was saying. I was talking more inner strength, and just do that kind of workout. And I think it might get what you're looking for. All right. One final question. Hello, my favorite feel-good song is Pink Pony Club by Chapel Rowan. My question is, I wanted to know what does this person feel about our connection right now? You're AS and they're AG. Okay. I'm sure I've listened to a Chapel Rowan song, but I've been meaning to. I used to think her name was pronounced Chappelle, so that's me growing, and I will definitely look this song up in particular because she seems up my alley just from a pop music. But most of my tarot pump up song music that I listen to is kind of poppy and upbeat. So thank you very much. Very cool. The deck that I'm using, just so you're aware, is a kind of a weird deck. It's the Pause Tarot, and it is just kind of cartoon cats, kind of fun. Wow, this card keeps coming up a lot, which I feel means that it's speaking to me. But yeah, just a bunch of kind of goofy cards, and that's just because I do take my readings very seriously. I am also I'm not a very serious person personally. Oh, you can see my cat back there. That's Leela. She's my producer on the show. She's kind of lazy, doesn't do much, but couldn't do it without her, truly. She's the heart and soul of the show. All right. Anything else? I am more of a visual reader, but I do have my Tarot Companion here book that I'll if I feel I need to, I'll let you know the traditional meaning of the card, but I am more of a visual vibes reader kind of thing. But yeah, just easy one card draw. How does AG feel about your connection right now? I just noticed the bird. This is a newish deck for me, and I just thought the bird's expression on that card was kind of funny. All right. The Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles are more of a materialistic card, and definitely typically money related. Before I get into what the traditional meaning of this card is, just for what I get from looking at this card, there's at least some comfort there. How they feel about you right now. As for who's who, I'm going to assume that the person we're talking about is the cat in the picture, and you're maybe the bird. And I think this is a good card for they want you in their life, but maybe it is something where they maybe feel like the fact that it's over the shoulder. I could read this card for somebody else, and I might see it as the bird coming in and now the bird is bugging them, or I might read it's like, oh, the cat's trying to get the bird on his hand and get him closer. For some reason, I'm reading this as somebody who's kind of watching over his shoulder. Maybe they feel like you're watching them a bit too closely with stuff. And as for the traditional meaning of this card, just on its face, it is material comforts is kind of what this card represents, according to the Tarot Companion. I could see this relating to that, where they maybe feel like when they're with you, just give you a traditional read of the card, maybe they feel like when they're with you that they are comfortable in your space with you, around you, and they like you and the things that you have, which might be cold comfort if you want them to like you more for who you are. But again, just my reading of this is, somebody who's comfortable, like this cat is surrounded by pentacles, somebody who's comfortable, but maybe just doesn't want this other person over their shoulder quite so much. I'm not even saying keep your distance, just maybe if there have been any privacy invasions almost or anything, just be careful about that kind of stuff, because we can all get on people's nerves and we don't mean to, and just be careful. But I don't think this is a bad sign at all. Definitely not. it's literally just telling us a thing to look out for, I think. Yeah. I didn't have anybody drop into the chat today, which is perfectly fine. Made for a pretty breezy, easy reading day. And yeah, that's another week, this week 9 readings. I could have gone 10, but meh, what can you do? Alright, yeah, and let's go and get the cat poster up there, because always everybody needs to hang in there. And, I was going to do, just as because I never do readings for myself, how about I just do a reading for a random day my next week, and then when I come back on next Saturday, I'll give a little update on how my, if I was accurate or not, just to kind of just to keep myself honest in a way. Alright, so how about we'll just do Wednesday next week, and just a general 1-card reading Wednesday of next week. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will I be happy? Will I be sad? Will I be upbeat? Will I get mad? I don't know. I'm just a lad. One-card reading for next Wednesday. Be the ones in. Huh. So this sometimes makes me think that I just drew this card, and maybe it is the universe trying to speak to me instead of to the other person who I drew it for. But this card means strength, and when I drew it for the other person, I did make sure to point out that the cat is trying to mop up water with a broom. I think Wednesday might be a tough day for me. I might end up being a bit of a goofus doofus, but this card does mean traditionally strength. So hopefully I will have a day where I show strength. I mean, I don't think this card is a bad sign, more of an inner strength sign. Somebody who's working on themselves and working on stuff. So maybe I'll have a day of growth, but I'm kind of worried that I might end up doing something clumsy that day. So, yeah, that's a very specific sort of reading, specific sort of prediction I just pulled. If I hope nothing bad happens. All right, and that was my first time using those cards, and I'd say a successful first run. Thank you if anybody decides to watch this all the way through. I very much appreciate it. Definitely, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and watch live if you ever happen to hop on a Saturday. I would greatly appreciate it. This has been the Tarot Read Show, and we do tarot readings. Right, not the Tarot Read Show. I've gotten that once or twice. Not named after the actress Tara Reid. It is the Tarot Read Show, where we do tarot readings. So not the Tarot Read Show, it's the Tarot Read Show. I don't understand the confusion, but some people think it's there. Yeah, all right. You guys have an excellent week, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.